they kind of just went through different reps with me, and they told me like, yeah, you're interviewing Chris Paul.
On this week's episode, you guys, we have Ashton Edmunds, and it would take us 900 hours to speak and say all the things you've accomplished and done. And like, we don't want to go through all that, but just to pop off on a little bit, he was a Rhode Fellow at Undefeated, sports editor at Clark Atlanta University, and now he's here to talk about all the things he's done, and we'll dive into a little bit more of that. But thank you for being here with us, Ashton.
Yes, thank you for inviting me. I'm definitely honored to be a guest today, so thank you.
Tell us how you got into journalism and like why you chose it.
So I actually didn't even know what I was going to study in college, but I always was really good at talking about sports and really good at writing. So before my granddad passed, he encouraged me to just go into sports journalism. And, that kind of stuck with me. And, I really went full throttle with journalism after my freshman year of college and became a sports editor, published multiple articles, and really just made those connections that I needed to make. And that really propelled my career to where it is now. So things happen quickly, and I'm grateful for the opportunities, but, I can never be complacent. It's always more work and more things to learn. So,
oh yeah, especially in journalism, because
yeah,
the internet is forever changing, and there's more things to learn every day.
That's real. That's real. It's a lot of people starting their own shows, podcasts, which I think is super cool, man. And it's cool to see everybody have their own platform and talk about different topics that they want to touch on. So I really love it, bro.
Everybody's got their own kind of story to tell, and I think that's kind of something cool you got to do with the Undefeated with your Rhode Scholarship. You talked about how, like, tell us how you got into that and the different things you got to experience there.
Yeah, for sure. So actually, I applied one time and I got denied the first time, and then the second time I applied, I got in. So that was one of my goals that I had set out before I graduated college, and we got to do a plethora of things. We got to do podcasting, writing, editing. We got to cover the Super Bowl. We got to cover the HBCU Combine, like just different things of that nature. Really, just everything that pertains to journalism. They basically opened the door for us in that way. And that was just a great experience for me, just learning from Bill Rhoden and everybody at the Undefeated, like just being, working for ESPN is just like a dream come true for a sports journalist. So just this whole year was amazing for me. And I think I published at least like 12 or 13 articles. So that was on my goal list to get at least over 10 articles before I was a Rhoden Fellow alumnus.
I'll make sure to link all those down below and in the episode notes so y'all can go check those out. But you said it was a goal. Why was it a goal?
It was a goal because, the Rhoden Fellow program started in 2017, and it was a program through ESPN for historically Black college students. So I was like, I'm a sports journalist. I go to a HBCU. This is like a program that I want to do. And it's like, I'll get paid. I still get to do my schoolwork and make those connections at ESPN. So I think just whenever I did get the opportunity, my mindset, like my approach was like, yeah, I got to seize this opportunity and make the most of it. And I think that was my biggest reason why I wanted to be a Rhoden Fellow before I graduated college.
Okay, can y'all not tell that this man is like good at answering questions? Every time, I don't know if y'all are watching this or not, but every time he finished, he's like, yep, I answered the question, followed it through.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I mean, you talked about your HBCU experience. So you are from Tallahassee, Florida, and you went to Clark Atlanta. Like, what? There's a lot of things in between those places. How'd you got there?
It is. No, I went to FAMU High School, which is the crazy part, right? Because FAMU College was right up the hill from me, and I did a lot of things on the hill. But I really just wanted to get out of Tallahassee and kind of branch out. I don't have no family here in Atlanta, but I knew that coming to Clark would just open so many doors for me, and it would help me mature as a man. You know what I'm saying? And I made so many different connections, met so many different people from across the world. Like, some of my closest friends are from California, and I've never even been to the West Coast. So I think just coming to Atlanta has exposed me to a lot, and I'm forever grateful that I chose to go to Clark over FAMU, because FAMU is my other option. So I'm glad I came to Clark for sure.
Anyone listening from FAMU, they're like, he's lying. No, right. He says the wrong thing. We don't even claim him over here in Florida anymore.
No, for real though, they don't claim me no more. So it's all good. It's all good.
It is what it is. But you were at Clark Atlanta and you got like into like sports writing. You were the editor at like a sophomore. You were like 19, 20 years old, like telling people what to do. What in the world?
Yeah, no, it was a big jump for me because the current sports editor, he was a senior and he was leaving, so they was looking for somebody to fill that role. And I didn't have no journalism experience, but I had to put myself in that uncomfortable position to grow as a journalist. So I told him, I was like, yeah, I'll be the sports editor, the very next year after my freshman year. And since my sophomore year, I've been the sports editor up until my senior year. So just serving 3 years as a sports editor and seeing, the different people come through that newspaper and just growing as a journalist and me helping other students grow as journalists was something that was big for me. And I think that was just a big role because a lot of these internships, they want to see what you do on campus. So I knew I had to have some type of position in the newspaper. And I feel like sports editor was just that right position for me. And it, like I said, that just really opened a lot of doors.
That's interesting because that's a lot of years, especially in college, because
Yeah,
4 is
definitely.
basically like 95, and
For sure.
a
For
day
sure.
lasts a year, and you got to see all the people come through. But what was there anything you like didn't expect when you were like, okay, I'm gonna be the sports editor? What was like something you're like, oh, I don't remember signing up for this part.
Right. I think the editing part of everything, like reading, because I didn't know what I thought sports editor was like the person that writes all the sports stories, but I didn't know that I had to overlook every sports story and read other people's stories and edit them. I was like, this is a lot. But I think the more that I did it, it just helped me be more versatile, more well-rounded as a journalist. And I think the more you read as a journalist, the better you are at writing. So I think that was the biggest challenge that I came into this federal role, but it helped me get me to this point where I am now. So
Uh,
that's
see,
yeah, it was a lot. It was definitely a lot, but I'm glad I took on that challenge.
see, he's
So
better than I am because, as you see, I chose ad PR and ran away from journalism. Took my
yeah,
mandatory writing and reporting class. Never looked back.
that's true.
You don't think about those kind of things when you're the editor or whatever. You think you're going to create all these things, but you're really kind of more
Definitely.
of what's the word, like kind of like a trades person, like you're giving things to other people and like
Yeah.
seeing how they work. Was there like some things that you were like, oh, let's make sure this person is on this because they do really well at this? Was there some people who
Yeah.
surprised you, kind of like how I know you surprised your editor and you were like, oh, this 18-year-old, he really
Yeah.
he really got it going on here.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, my one of my boy, his name is Darian Carter. He came in the year after I came in, and actually my senior year, I suggested that he becomes a co-sports editor because he just really took off. He kind of came in with that same approach that I came in with, and now he's a summer fellow at Front Office Sports. He's like in their inaugural program, but he really did a lot at CAU, and he really made a name for himself, and I was like super proud of him. So I was like, yeah. I really pitched to the editor in chief. I was like, yeah, I think he should be the co-sports editor alongside me. And we made that move my senior year. And, he's just doing really great things. He's going to Arizona State in the fall for the graduate program. So he's definitely taking off and he's moving quickly as well. So Darian, I would say, is somebody that really surprised me for sure.
Shout out to Darian. If you're out there
Yeah,
listening, hit
shout
us
out to
up.
Darian.
We can talk to you
Yeah,
too, Darian.
for
Talk
sure,
about
for
Arizona
sure.
State because it's they say it's wild out there. I mean, never been there, but that's what the internet says. But got to take that with a grain of
Yeah,
salt.
that's real. That's real. Just gotta take it with a grain of salt.
You worked with Turner Media, a little Warner Media, not
Yeah.
Turner Media, for a little bit, and then you got into that. That was an inaugural program. So how did you even like feel about signing up for that? Because you didn't have anything to look back on.
Yeah, so actually, I interned at Turner Sports like the year or the summer before that, and it's funny because I went after my sophomore year, I got rejected from like every internship, and that summer, it was like 2 weeks into the summer, I got an email from Turner saying like, "Hey, do you have 10 minutes for a phone call?" I called them, they offered me the internship, moved to Atlanta, got started. But I think just securing that internship with Turner Sports helped me secure that internship with the Warner Media Fellow. And basically, I got to work with students from Spelman and Emory University. And basically, we just got to learn everything about Turner. We went through different workshops and just different things to help us move quicker in our careers. So I think just being a part of that inaugural class was an honor, and I was one of my closest friends was also a part of that class too. So me and him were just very happy to make history at CAU, and just like through our mass media program, just make an impact. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's important to just inspire and just pave a way for other students to come up. So no, it was great being a part of that inaugural class though.
Yes, we should change all your handles to Ashton, quotation marks, Trailblazer, Edmonds, just really put it out there, get you a building out there at Clark Atlanta, just slap your name on one.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
We're gonna take a little detour here for a minute, you guys. You
Sure.
are, very popping on the Twitter account about, your love for basketball. So if
Yeah.
you had, we're right now, y'all, we're recording this in June, but you're listening to it, and we're right at the end of the finals, coming up to it. So give us some pretty good, if you think so, playoff predictions, because around here we're very, known for our very bad and awful ones. So
Uh,
who
yeah.
who, who do you think is gonna win?
I would want to see the Suns win. Chris Paul get a ring. Devin Booker get a ring. I think that'll be something cool to see. I don't think nobody wants to see the Jazz get a ring. That'll just be a bummer to everybody.
Nobody likes the
But
Jazz.
yeah, nobody likes the Jazz. Like who? Yeah, nobody likes the Jazz. So one of my favorite players, Russell Westbrook, he got knocked out too. So it's just like it's a weird playoff year for everybody. This is not like the ideal or typical playoff year.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I feel like people who went far in the bubble, they're kind of being like punished because like you didn't get
Exactly.
time off, you did it like the two teams who were made it the longest way, they're like knocked out, and that's just pretty crazy to see.
Seriously, it's yeah, they really didn't get no rest. I think it was like 2 months. LeBron's getting older, so he's playing what like every minute, and he's still producing great results. So I think it's so much that a player could take, especially just having like a 2 month break. And you, like you said, a lot of these teams that were in the bubble are now getting punished. So it's gonna be interesting to see who takes it.
Were you always a Laker fan, or were you like a LeBron came to the Lakers and now I'm a Lakers fan?
Yes, it's interesting because I don't have a favorite NBA team, but Carmelo and LeBron are my favorite NBA players. So wherever they go, I'm like on their team. But my favorite NFL team is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like I'm a Steelers diehard fan. So it like when they went undefeated and then they lost and they it was weird and they lost the first game in the playoffs. I was like, what happened? Like, are you serious? But yeah, so LeBron and Carmelo are definitely my favorite NBA players, and I've never picked up on an NBA team, but I probably should because they're going to retire pretty soon.
Oh yeah, oh
So
yeah. We love
yeah,
Carmelo, the original
yeah,
Melo. He will always be
yeah.
Melo on
Melo's a
this.
beast.
He'll always be Melo over here. LaMelo will be LaMelo. It's fine.
Melo, thank you, because a lot of people were trying to change this Melo. I'll be like, you talking about Carmelo, right? Because Lamelo, that's not the real Melo. So
They were like,
that's real,
one's a child and one's an adult. So
right?
you always give the nickname to the elder anyway. So why is this even a
Exactly,
discussion?
exactly. No, that's real.
You said you were a Steelers fan, and I know last season was a bit tough for
Yeah.
Steelers Nation. Really high highs and some low lows. How did you feel about the TikToking? How did that go across? Did you like it? Were you like, okay, y'all, we should bring it back a little bit?
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely thought, they were playing too much a little bit. I think they got besides themselves and they didn't realize that, you still got to finish the season. You still got playoffs. You got the Super Bowl, even though you can go undefeated the whole season, but lose the first playoff game. And I think that's that goal that they really let slip their minds. And, Tom Brady is one of them players, like he's always locked in. He's always focused, regardless if he goes 16-0, it's like once the playoffs hit, it's 0-0. You know what I'm saying? So I think the Steelers really messed up with that, and I was really mad to see them like lose that first playoff game. It was terrible to see, like because I really thought they was going to go to the Super Bowl, just how their season was going, but
Mm-hmm.
things didn't work out. But I'm really happy that they picked up Najee Harris for this offense because he's a great running back.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, shout out to Alabama, man. So I'm excited to see what he does with the Steelers offense this upcoming year for sure.
Oh yeah, they've got a good group. The issues I
Yep.
see with it is this, they're just young. They're
Yeah, seriously,
they're
seriously.
20, 22, 23. Like you gotta
Super young.
they need an adult. And Ben's like,
Yeah,
I'm too old to try to be their adult and adult my own kids. So
he's
y'all need
super.
to figure
Yeah,
it out.
yeah. No, Ben is definitely old, and I really want Cam Newton to go to the Steelers. Cam
Oh,
Newton or like Deshaun Watson.
hot take, hot
Um,
take.
Yeah, no, Cam. Yeah, because Cam Newton, he did okay for the Patriots last season, and I feel like since he did get that experience, he's going to really do good this season. He's going to really shock a lot of people. But if they don't give him another opportunity, I really want him to come to Pittsburgh because he'll be playing under Mike Tomlin, another a black coach. And I just think it'll be a better fit for him, and it'll be different. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Pittsburgh ever had a quarterback like Cam Newton, so it'll be a different feel for him and the Steelers organization. So
I have no problems with it. I mean,
yeah,
no one likes the Patriots. So everyone who likes Cam
yeah,
Newton is like forced to like
right,
the Patriots. So you're like,
right.
go somewhere else. I'll cheer for
That's
the
real.
Jets before I like.
No, for real though, for real. I used to always play with Cam Newton on Madden, like when he played for the Panthers. Always play with Cam Newton just because like he really made a name for himself in Carolina, and I was devastated when they lost that Super Bowl that one
Oh,
year. It was they were so close, like I couldn't believe my eyes. But hopefully Cam does get one ring before he exits the NFL.
oh yeah. I think he's got something. He's got something brewing for us that
Yeah,
we don't
that's
even see
real.
it coming.
That's real. That's real.
But as y'all can see, he knows what he's writing about. He's got his ear to the what is it, the ear to the pavement or whatever. I'm not
Yeah,
really good
most
at
definitely.
sayings around here, people. And you had a little moment on TV. You did a little
Yeah,
NBA segment on TV. Tell us how
yeah.
that was.
It was great. So a week before All Star Weekend, I was Oscar Pope, who recently just passed away. He worked at Turner Sports, and he provided me with the opportunity. He was like, we want an HBCU student to interview NBA player during All Star Weekend, and I didn't know. I thought I was just going to be on social media. I didn't know I was going to be on TV. So when All Star Weekend came, they kind of just went through different reps with me, and they told me like, yeah, you're interviewing Chris Paul. And I was excited because we all know that Chris Paul is an HBCU advocate. So once I got the opportunity that Sunday, Chris Paul was super easy to talk to. He was super chill. And like right after the interview ended, me and him was just kind of chopping it up for a little bit, just on some like bro to bro stuff. But the whole weekend was amazing for me because, a lot of people in college, let alone in their profession, don't even ever get the opportunity to interview somebody at All-Star Weekend. So that whole weekend was just surreal for me, and my phone was blowing up like once I officially was on TV, and I had to put it on Do Not Disturb because it was going crazy. But that whole weekend was amazing, and I think that was like one of the highlights of my college career for sure. For
It
sure.
had to be. You're on national television. Like the
Yeah, right.
aside from it just being the NBA, like we all know, the black people love some All Star Weekend. They love some dunk contest.
Yes,
You,
yes,
it falls on Valentine's Day. Nobody cares. Tell your
definitely,
girlfriends, your boyfriends, we're not doing anything on Saturday night. We're
definitely.
watching. We're watching all the challenges like that. Did you get to like see any of the challenge people like warm up?
Oh yeah, no, I was there in the arena. Like I recorded, we recorded the Chris Paul interview like around like 12 that day, and then it didn't air, of course, until around 6:30. But yeah, I got to see every challenge. I got to talk to Ernie Johnson. What I'm saying personally, he
Love
that
Ernie.
called me that morning, man, and he was just very excited for me to join that team that weekend. And I still keep in touch with him, text him sometimes. But that whole day was just crazy for me. I was literally at the stadium like from like 12 to when the All-Star game ended. So I got to see LeBron, Steph Curry, Luca, all of them. It was just like it was a crazy experience for me. And just being in Atlanta, it was like a dream come true. I feel like if I would have went to FAMU, I don't know if that opportunity would have came. You know what I'm saying? So just being at the right place at the right time, opportunities always presents themselves.
Oh yeah, Atlanta's always known for something. It's the hub
Yeah,
of everything, and
it's the
so
hub. It's the media hub. Like, yeah, it's here.
everything's happening down there. And you were on TV. We saw you. I say we, also known as me and everybody else who had from New walked in.
Definitely.
And you had a little in your voice, and I was like, "Come
Right.
on, Ashton, pull it out! Come on, don't
Yeah, for
you were
sure.
that forehead was a little glistening," and I was like,
Right.
"Come on, Ashton, we're like on
Yeah.
a scale of 1 to 10. How nervous were we?"
I would say at first, definitely a 10, definitely 10 out of 10. But I think as the interview went along and I could tell how Chris Paul just wanted to make me more comfortable. I think that nervousness went all the way down. You know what I'm saying? I think towards my last question, I was way more comfortable.
Yeah.
But like introducing myself, I was, just kind of like shaking a little bit and a little nervous. But no, Chris Paul made the interview so well for me that like just towards the end of the conversation, I was just, feeling natural. And I realized that when you interview somebody, it's just like having a conversation, whether that's LeBron James or whether that's like your close friend, like just have a conversation with that person.
Yes,
So
most definitely, Ashton.
yeah,
That's a good tips for anyone that's out there going in journalism or just, want to talk to people that make significantly a lot more money and they're a lot more famous than you. They're just regular
facts.
people.
Yeah,
Just regular
that's
people
real.
who just happen, to just can pick up and go to Cancun whenever.
Right. That's facts.
If you had like anything, some behind the scenes of the All-Star weekend you wanted to like share that you don't think most people who watch them, like other things they do behind the scenes.
Yeah. So behind the camera, it was like 10 different people. So you know what I'm saying? Like I would while I was looking at Chris Paul, I was also thinking like, yo, it's 10 different people looking at me right now. I think that's what a lot of people don't know that's behind any interview. It's like so many producers and directors and stage managers or whatever. So that was something that I didn't know was gonna happen. I thought it was just gonna be like me and a producer, but yeah, it was hella people looking at me. Um, I think also just coming up with the script, you know what I'm saying? I think it's important to come up with the script and know what you're going to talk about before you interview somebody. I think that was also something that I learned during All Star Weekend. But pretty much everything else I pretty much knew, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, it was just a great experience. Like I felt like a celebrity after that weekend. And Jamal Crawford actually followed me on Twitter,
Oh, snap.
after. Yeah. Jamal Crawford followed me, and I was just surprised. I'm like, this is Jay Crossover right here. So yeah, I was excited. I was excited.
Oh yeah, that's got to be cool. You All-Star Weekend, as we said, took place in Atlanta, and we know that's where everything happens. And you wrote a piece about Gladys Knight, but did you get to meet Gladys Knight?
Yeah, I wanted to, but I actually got a quote from her PR professional. Like I got a quote from Gladys Knight, so I didn't get to talk to her. I wanted to, but Gladys Knight, she was probably busy that whole week. So, but I wish I would have got to talk to Gladys for sure because she's a legend. We all know she's a legend.
I mean, she's right up there with Patty Bell, like throw your
Right,
shoes off the stage. You
right.
you gotta
Yeah, I
have
wish
it.
yeah, and I know like with COVID and everything, at the All Star game, things were kind of limited just because COVID was still like a big thing. So I didn't get to. I know Patty was there, but I didn't get to meet her or Gladys. I know Gladys was there, but I didn't get to meet her. So that's something I wish would have happened for
Who
sure.
knows? Patty LaBelle was probably somewhere too. We just
Yeah,
they just
right,
didn't
right,
show
right.
her.
No, yeah, that's true. That's real. That's true.
Now, All-Star Weekend is known for the dunk contest. Is there any things you think someone else should have won? There was like because last year before that we had the Derek Jones, Eric Gordon situation. Like, do you
Yeah.
think it was fairly scored this year?
No, I think this dunk contest wasn't, in my opinion, wasn't super exciting from the past ones. But Anthony Simmons definitely he put on the show. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize he had that much bounce. I think he went to I don't think he went to college. So I think he went to IMG Academy, I believe. But I
Mm-hmm.
didn't think Anthony Simmons was that good at all until he came to the league. And Obi Toppin and Cassius Stanley did pretty good. They did okay, but I think being like that dunk contest, I think Anthony Simmons deserved that one because he did some off the wall dunks. So I think it was scored pretty fairly. I
Yeah.
think Stephen Curry won the 3-point contest. I
Mm-hmm.
believe. Yeah, we all know Steph or Clay. Like I think Clay. It seemed like Clay's like 100% from that three. Like he comes off the screen, he hits it every time. But I think Steph is a better shooter for sure.
Oh yeah, personally, like I can just sit in a gym and like watch Clay shoot all
Yeah,
day long. Can watch Kyrie just dribble around, like it'd
yeah.
be like
Seriously,
full on Harlem Globetrotter style, and I
that's
don't think I would be bored. Like,
that's real. No, that's real talk. Now the Brooklyn Nets might, you know what I'm saying? They might win because a lot of people's getting hurt. I think Embiid got hurt. Of
mm-hmm.
course, Anthony Davis got hurt. So with Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie still being healthy, that's like the big three at this point. And I wouldn't be mad if the Nets win. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want them to win. I still want LeBron to win. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Yeah, literally, everyone's listening to this and they're like, "Yeah, the Jazz are winning 3-1 right now."
Right,
So,
right. No, that's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I hope the Jazz doesn't win because literally
who
everybody will be mad.
like
So
like they just play so boring basketball. Like
you're right.
Rudy Gobert setting screens, Donovan
Yeah.
Mitchell shooting the three, like
Mike Conley is just like that, you know what I'm saying? That regular
passer,
point guard.
like.
Yeah, like it's nothing exciting about the Jazz. So we're gonna see how everything play out.
That's why they come on at 10:30 Eastern time because they know nobody's
Nobody's
that
gonna watch.
invested in the
Yeah, that's real.
Jazz.
No, that's facts. That's facts.
Nobody's that invested in watching Rudy Gobert. I wouldn't be shocked if he wins like 20 Defensive Player of the Year straight.
Man, I'm about tired of seeing him win that award at this point. Like, give it to somebody else, please.
Like he
Please.
sets good screens and he blocks. We get it. We
Right.
get it. There's
Right.
somebody else.
Right. It's somebody else out there for sure. That's facts.
So you've done some pretty big experiences and some pretty interesting interviews over your
Yeah.
career, I guess you could say. Could you give us a top 5?
I think, well, All-Star Weekend was my number one experience for sure. I think interviewing Sydney Scott, Stuart Scott's daughter, is probably number 2, just because Stuart Scott is somebody that inspired me. Let me see. I think also my internship with Turner Sports is probably my number 3 experience because I was on NBA Game Time talking about championship predictions, and I got the right prediction. It was the Lakers. They won that very next year. Let me see. I wrote a story on Hank Aaron, and that story got published in the ESPN magazine. And also, my internship with Slam magazine. One of my stories got published in the Slam magazine. So I think those are my 5 most memorable experiences thus far in my career for sure.
Y'all see why I said like we didn't have the time to like go through all the things? Like y'all see what I'm saying, right?
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, like Stuart Scott. Love Stuart Scott. Tar Heels over here. He's forever indebted. Rest in peace. How did he inspire you to be a journalist in the way?
Yeah, so Stuart Scott inspired me in like every aspect as a Black man, as a sports journalist, and even joining my fraternity, being an alpha. I've grown up watching Stuart Scott and seeing how he brought that flavor to sports journalism. Like I feel like there's nobody to ever do it like Stuart Scott. You know what I'm saying? And he was just like that lead ESPN anchor for everybody. But just growing up watching Stuart Scott, man, he was just so cool and down to earth. And when I got to talk to his daughter, I just felt that close connection, like I was talking to Stuart Scott. And I think, just him as a Black man outside of sports journalism, he really carried himself in a great manner. And he definitely hopes to carry myself just like he did moving forward.
So, oh yeah. You can't like no one can like even like think of the word like booyah and like not
right. You feel me? Yeah.
Not even think of him. Do you got a catchphrase? You working on a catchphrase? Trying to get a catchphrase?
Yeah, working on a catchphrase. Yeah, not like Stuart. I know Stuart Scott got that down to a T, but I need to get me a catchphrase for sure.
At least like if you're gonna, do you want to go into like writing or you want to go into like TV, or you don't care?
I would say more of the writing side. You know what I'm saying? TV is cool, but I definitely want to be more like a beat writer. You know what I'm saying? Appear on TV sometimes, but more so like writing articles for like, ESPN, the New York Times, the LA Times. So
man on the scene.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, hopefully that dream comes true for sure.
Yeah. So if you're a writer, you can get your little tagline like under your name. Not
exactly.
Just something simple. So they were like, oh, this was really him who.
This is Ashton Edmunds. Yeah, facts.
See, we can work on that a little. I'm gonna take 20% because I came up with the idea, but you can have the other 80.
I got you, trust me.
So over here on Her Sports Convo, we do this little thing where I give you a word and you just say the first thing that comes back to your mind or a story about it if you got one. So your first word is journalism.
Journalism is, it's life for me. You know what I'm saying? It's my life. I feel like it's going to open many doors for me and my family. And it has truly opened doors already for me. You know what I'm saying? So journalism is everything to me. And I think there's power in journalism. It could really change somebody's life for the better. So journalism is the greatest profession out here.
I mean, it is. And, usually I keep going with that. But you made me think of something. In the media right now, journalism is... It's not. It's right. A little shoot fire job. Like, do you feel concerned? Like, do you feel like, hey, I got to make sure I'm doing it right so people don't come after me?
No, for sure. I think with the whole Naomi Osaka situation, a lot of journalists took it way to the left. You know what I'm saying? I think mental health is very important, regardless if you're, the best tennis player in the world. We're all still human at the end of the day. So I think I'm glad Naomi Osaka really voiced her concerns, because taking a step back from something to get your mind right and your mental health right is way more important to just pleasing people or making money. You know what I'm saying? So I think these journalists really have to rethink what they say before they say it and really have credible sources. Like, don't just put out news before you know you got the real information. So I think that's the biggest thing with journalism.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like we all know they lost. They know they lost because the other person
Right,
scored more points. Like
right.
let's think of something original, people.
You feel me? Yeah, no, that's real. That's real talk. That's real talk. So
Your next word is fried fish Fridays.
fried fish Fridays. I used to always go to fried fish Fridays after my classes, put some hot sauce on my fried fish, eat the mac and cheese, mashed potatoes. I think that was the cool thing about going to HBCU is just like having fried chicken Wednesdays and fried fish Fridays. And literally all my friends was in the cafe. It was like a party on Fridays. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody get out of class, go to the cafe, eat fried fish, turn up real quick, and just go about your day. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna miss Fried Fish Fridays at CAU because that was like the highlight of my week. It's Friday and it's Fried Fish Friday, so yeah.
Oh, that's so fun. And your last one is double up.
Double Up. Double Up is like my favorite. That's like one of my favorite Nipsey Hussle songs. Probably my favorite on the Victory Lap album. And like Nipsey Hussle, for a lot of people that don't know, really inspired me. I know in my grad photos, I had the marathon clothing, his sweater on in my grad photos. So Nipsey Hussle was definitely somebody that inspired me, just to keep going. You know what I'm saying, and create a lane for myself and like the people around me. So Double Up is like it's a timeless song. It's gonna be here forever.
Oh yeah. Now, thank you so much for coming on. Tell everyone where they can find you, what you got coming up next, where they can find you on
Sure.
the internet.
Most def. So you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at AE11 underscore underscore. And what I got coming up next, I'll be moving to Chicago to attend Northwestern's Medill School of Journalism to obtain my master's in sports media and journalism this upcoming fall. So I'm excited to learn and be a part of the Medill Mafia.
Yes. Y'all make sure y'all do that. All his links and stuff are in the bio, the description, wherever you happen to be listening to your podcast at. Thank you so much for joining us, Ashton.
Thank you so much, Ashley.